So, how about a Wepe knife? Wepe. Got another one of these Wepes here. They're made in Yangjiang, China. Same place twosuns are made, and sixleaf, and several others, man. There's a bunch of them made there. But now there's Wepe knives. Wepe. Not wimpy. Maybe they're wimpy. I don't know. Got my wonderful little Echo. Come on, man. How do you not like this Echo? It is such a cool knife. Might retire it off this bench here pretty soon. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do to these scales. Like I took a multi-directional orbiter and some sandpaper and roughed that up. And I mean, the texture's okay, but I'm still not completely satisfied with it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll just polish them back up again. Just go finer and finer grit until they're smooth, shiny like chrome. Maybe that's the next step. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. A little bit oily. We can get rid of this. Wepe. Wonder how they want to pronounce that. Wepe. I bet you it means something. A lot of times those names mean something. I mean, look at this little chunker. Little chunker, man. Come on. And of course, it's a David Chin design. G10. I love the patterning on the G10. Very nice. Man, let's get that blade out of there. What are we talking about here? Wow. Calling it the Guardian. The Wp747 in D2 steel. So what an interesting piece, man. Because, wasn't too long ago, I had a twosun drop. And I spent a minute in the video crybabying about the ergonomics because clearly this choked up grip was the primary grip. And boy, I can tell you that this choked up grip on this knife is extremely comfortable. Here's the difference. This grip back here feels like the primary grip. It is really, really nice. So, I mean, if I had my preference, I'd say, well, me personally, I don't really need this up here. But when it doesn't compromise this primary grip, I'm not offended by this. But when this becomes the primary, like as soon as you take it out, you grab here and then you grab here and you go, well, yeah, the only place to really grab this knife is up here. See, I'm not a fan of that. I mean, listen, I get it. Some people go, this is what I need my knife for. This right here, this grip. Well, then like that twosun, then that would be the knife for you. That would 100% be the knife for you. But because this grip behind this is not good, then it takes me out of the knife. But on this knife, this grip back here is wonderful. I mean, it's been thought through. There's a place for the index finger, that second finger, and then these last two land up in here. And this knife is very comfortable right here in this position. It just happens to have a choke up spot. And if they're going to do the choil and that choke up, I think that's the way to do it. Design the knife with a standard grip that's solid, comfortable, confident, and then put a choil in it. And I think that's maybe what happened here. Because, yeah, this knife is really good here, 100%. And it's pretty good here. But we'll come back to that. We'll come back. I won't try to beat it to death when we come back, but we'll come back to it. The action, it's a little bound. I don't know, maybe the pivot's a little too tight. Maybe the knife needs to be cleaned and lubed. Maybe it just needs to be run. And truthfully, maybe all four of the above. Ow. Yeah. So I've got a problem in my finger, and Spidey flicking a knife shoots a pain down this finger that I can't even describe, man. It's like a 12 on a 10 scale. It's like turning the amp up to 12. Whew. Yeah. But just Spidey flick. I mean, there's just certain movements. Like doing this right here, nothing. Doesn't hurt. I don't feel it. It just feels as natural as could be. But man, if I put this finger here and press, somehow this finger hurts. It's pulling on something in there. I mean, good grief. I mean, is there a doctor in the house? I don't know if it's related to the gunshot, because of course this was the finger that bam ultimately went off, and that gun was, I don't know what that is, man. Yep. But action feels a little bound up. I am, before I take it apart, I'm going to try to loosen that pivot a little bit, see if just maybe it's too tight. Well, I mean, it's running way better, but it's got a little bit of a rock in there. Gotta put some tension back on it, and it's still got a little bit of a shake. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of feel the bearings too, like moving across this blade. It's running better, but man, does it have a good detent too. Ooh. Very snappy. I doubt I could fail it. I'm going to try. Nope. Yeah, very, very snappy detent. I mean, I'm not going to be looking to really change that action at all. Let's get in it. I just think maybe if I can speed up the break-in a little bit, possibly put a little tension on it, run it, tighten up the bearings a little bit, lube them, clean it. Hopefully we can get that running. Got this pocket clip recessed, 4 square lines, straight lines, recessed into that G10, 2 big screws, heavy hardware. Look at the size of that screw for that pocket clip. Heavy hardware. These are beefy knives, man. They are overbuilt standard pocket knives. Like, they're not, I don't know, what am I trying to say? So it's not built like a I mean, I was going to say it's not built like a really big knife, but in the end, it is. They are built really stout, overbuilt. I dropped that bearing. All right, let me find it. All right, got it. Yeah, I mean, really overbuilt. Lots of skeletonization going on in here. I mean, big, heavy G10, thick scales. I mean, there's everything going on here to like. Wepe. Be throwing stuff around. All right. Nothing worse than off-camera action, right? I mean, these liners, look at, they're thick and heavy, but they skeletonized them a bunch to try to reduce some of that weight. Huge, big piece of D2 here. Big, fat, tuna-shaped belly, pokey. I mean, look at this thing. And it looks like tool steel, man. It's got some of the spectrum of colors reflecting up out of there. These liners are thick and beefy, stout, stiff. all bead blasted. Nice stonewash finish on them. Captured pivot. Not too oily under there, but enough that I'm glad I took it apart. We'll get all that out of there. I don't need to carry any of that by. Big backspacer. Not very long, but thick, robust. Got some heavy jimping on it. Look at the size of this pivot. I mean, it's overbuilt. I was trying to say that it's a big knife, but not overbuilt, but built well, something along those lines. But the truth is, I mean, it's built big. These are big knives. That other one I did, I mean, it's a monster of a knife. I think that one's in the purge. I mean, truthfully, there wasn't any reason for me to purge it other than I need to purge knives. It was a great knife. All right, let's put this thing back together. No, not that one. This one. Not that one. Is it me or I'm holding it? Ugh, come on, man. Come on, man. What are you doing? I think that's... No. That's the right scale. So it's captured in the top scale. Interesting. Yeah, it's captured in that one, but they built it right because this can go together and then it captures in that top one when I press down on it. Yeah, I like it. So it makes assembly, disassembly, all of it very easy. You know, everything's going to come from the top down, press down on top of the parts and pieces. I had to tap these out if I remember. There we go. Just fit really tight. Make sure this is still lined up correctly. It is. Okay. Bearing, backspacer. A little dab will do ya. Boop, boop. Yeah, look at this blade. It's wonderful. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice. And let's put a little bit on this detent ball track. Guess I'll line up the scale first. How about that? There's the liner, not scale. Can I get any of the verbiage right? Can I say any of it correctly? So it's giving me one, but not the other. Of course. You dirty. There we got it. I just had to force it a little bit. Make it bend its knee to my will. There we go. Now that lock looks a little funny, so let's get that off. Right there. And then I want to tighten this up properly. There we go. I knew something felt off, but it surrendered there. Nice. Yeah. Okay. to get some help. That's spinning in there. And it is not tight. Are those screws the same length? I wonder if those are the same length. They sure look the same length, but I mean, this one looks like it could be longer. I think I got them in the wrong hole, which means I think I got to take it apart. I don't think I'm going to be able to manipulate those with all of that back together. One of those is definitely longer than the other. And that's probably why it went together funny. Yeah, see, that's the longer one. It needs to be back there. It's probably why it gave me some grief. There we got it. Okay, back at it. Take two. Man, I heard from one of the channel members a while back that purchased the Shieldin Hierophant, and he shared that he was able to get that action to run, that it had internal stop pins, and the track that they ran in, that stop pin was grinding on it, and that's why the action didn't work. So he said he took a Dremel and cleaned all that out, and he said it runs like a Swiss watch. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, I didn't take my time with that knife to figure any of that out, but it just goes to show that, I mean, it can be done. If you put a little time into it, I mean, I kind of believe that they don't have to send me a knife that runs well. If I just take my time, I can probably tinker with it enough to get it to run right. I mean, I guess once you kind of understand the mechanics of it and you go at it kind of fearless and go, well, you know, you don't want to go willy-nilly and doing stuff that's not going to help, right? Oh, there, I got that one. Now it's the back one. I'm going to put that scale on and get that screw before I lose that. Let's get the pivot screw. Because I got 2 points out of the 3. So I want to maintain the 2 that I got. Those 2. Now let's get this last one. There we got it. I mean, I love figuring it out. I mean, it's part of the process for me. And I get it. Not everybody's for it, you know. Some just want a knife, pay for it. When it comes in, it should be right. And I know that to be true because I score quite a bit of return product for the channel, different sources, here and there. And I get the knives, and I'll be honest, I can't find anything wrong with it. I mean, maybe it's off center just slightly or whatever. And if I'll tighten the pivot, here, it'll pull it over a little bit, which this one's dead on. But I'll see that, and of course sometimes you'll see in the notes, blade off center. And when I see that, I go, yeah, I should probably buy that knife. I can get it at a great price, and I could probably straighten that blade out. And then I get it, and I go boop, and it moves it right over, and I go, yeah, fixed, good to go. Kind of makes me wonder why the seller, the distributor's not messing with it, but I don't know. If you're a big distributor, man, and you're selling, even 50 knives a day, you want to mess with one, just put it in the, previously owned pile, take 10% off the knife or whatever, resell it. Let somebody else manage it. I mean, I think before I put that clip on, I want to figure this action out. What do I think about it? Definitely can't fail it. Just shy of dropping shut. I mean, it feels kind of semi-gritty in there. And I think if I just put some pressure on it and run that detent ball back and forth a few times on it, I think I can fix it. So I'm just going to put the clip on. Yep. We'll just keep going. It's that OCD, man. It's not perfect, so I gotta try to do something with it. When in fact, it's pretty darn good. All right. There we go. There we go. Nice. I mean, honestly, it's already better. Yeah, it's wonderful. Let's talk about that action. I mean, it's a high B plus, maybe an I minus, only because I can't fail it. Oh, I can fail it. It probably puts it at a B plus then. Maybe, you know what? I'll bet you I have that tighter than it was. Oh, heck yeah. That was crazy tight. Yeah, so now what? Drop shot. Yeah, there's no failing that now. Goodness, I had that pivot tight. Yeah, I can't fail it. And it's drop shot. I mean, I'm going to call it A action. I know it's a budget knife, but I'm going to take that into consideration. It is an extreme budget knife, and it's got A-level action. It is so good. Wow. Wepe. Now, when I say Wepe, I keep thinking of Wimpy. Gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today type thing. Wimpy. I mean, wow. The action on this thing, yeah, it's A-level action. Let's talk about the ergonomics, but let me get all these fingerprints off this blade. I want to rep this knife properly because it's a really good piece, man. This thing, I mean, wow. The stock on this knife is just going up and up as I mess with it. So the ergonomics, this grip right here, you got not so confident, very confident. This is above a confident grip. I am so locked in here. It's just wonderful. Excellent grip. I mean, capping that off, being able to come down, like, to drill a hole in a board or a piece of wood. Puckall grip, not so much. But, wonderful ergonomics. And then, of course, it does have, if you're a choke up and, slicing hard, this has got it. It's there for you, 100%. There's not even a thumb stud to hang up on material. I mean, you could just, in that belly and a needle sharp point that with this confident grip back here, I mean, you're going to meet resistance and push through. Absolutely. This ergonomics on this are wonderful. There's no hot spots. The pocket clip disappears correctly where it belongs in that crease in the palm of your hand. And I'm guessing, but we're about to find out, but that thing's going to run like $1,000,000. Yeah, one hand in, one hand out. And it's got the P logo, which I seen that on the other one. And I remember thinking then too, is the P for the Wepe? The P? We the people of the Republic of China? Is that what that is? So there's not a lot of tension, and that is a big knife. So I'm going to put a little tension on it. I will say those are cap screws, and even in the thick stuff, that thing's running really well. But I'm going to put a little tension on this pocket clip. Where are we at for time? Okay, so I'm going to protect that from these pliers, and I'm just going to squeeze these two ends together a little bit. And when I screw that back in the knife, it's going to create tension. All right, here we go. Let's put it back in there. I might as well just keep it live. I saved probably less than a minute by stopping that video. It didn't take me long to get that out of there. Whenever tension's added to a pocket clip, that back screw has to be the first one in, because it takes up a lot of that tension and slack. And if you start with that front screw, there's a good chance you'll strip that screw out and have problems. So always with the back screw. All right. Oh yeah, I can barely lift that up on there now. Let's see if we catch those screws coming in the thick stuff now. Nope, runs perfectly. And that is a dryer clip in that thick stuff. Really nice here as well. I mean, for as big of a knife and as heavy as this thing is, it is really secure in the pocket now. And the OP here allows to grip to pull that knife out. It's a great place to grab onto to get it out of the pocket. Look at that thumb flick. Wonder if this knife is safe, if I can make blade contact. So the tip's good, the clip is good, and then I'm not concerned with any incidental blade contact through the scales in the back. Yeah, pretty nice. How's that? I wonder if that tall flat grind, look at this thing. It's that tall flat grind. Wonder if it came sharp. Yeah, I mean, what's up? Way to go. I mean, if you're going to send a knife out of a knife factory, that's the way to do it, right? Why would it be any less than what I just did right there? It's got excellent jimping up here for the thumb to get on, especially for this choked up spot if you're slicing. But even here, there's like a platform there, and then that jimping ramp there. Very nice. Jimping on the back spacer. I mean, this thing all around is really nice. Let's talk about price and availability. Where can you get one of these right now, and what do you got to pay for it? Okay, so these pop up on the RIHE Design eBay store, the WP747 and D2. You'll see them pop up there, and I'm pretty sure that's where I bought all these Wepe knives. But they also have a internet page and a .com page, so you can find them direct. I believe it's wepeknives.com. Let me just tell you what it is. Yeah, it is wepeknives.com. WEPE knives.com. And this knife on that site is $29 and some change. So, I mean, if nothing else, there's your measuring stick right there. If you find it on eBay, I mean, you could buy it direct for $29. I think in either case, it's coming from China. So expect, 4 to 6 weeks to get it. I always expect 4 to 6 weeks. Lately, it's been taking 2 to 3. I mean, stuff coming from China has been coming pretty hot. So I don't know if they figured out their supply lines or, how that's working, but you can get stuff pretty fast out of China right now. So anyways, this thing's pretty cool. I appreciate you watching. It's the WP747 Guardian in D2. I'd be tempted to keep this, but I'm pretty sure it's going to make the purge. It is so nice. I mean, I'm going to look at the price and see what I paid for it, because I know I bought it at a live auction. And it's either going to purge or maybe we do a giveaway on it. We'll see. But anyways, Wepe Knives, man. Appreciate you checking it out.